Hello, and thanks for joining us on NTA News 24, the news at 10. We are live in Abuja. I am Dennis Adegunloye. The headlines. President Tinubu back in Nigeria after inauguration of John Dramani Mahama as 14th President of Ghana. Nigerian Air Force revives aircraft 23 years after it was grounded. Nigeria Center for Disease Control issues alert on human metapneumovirus, reaffirms national preparedness. And NAFDAC seals off Chinese supermarket in Abuja for allegedly selling expired products. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is back in Abuja after attending the inauguration of President John Dramani Mahama in Accra. The presidential 001 flight landed at the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport at about 9:30 Tuesday evening. President Tinubu was on the trip to Accra on the invitation of President Mahama, with whom he has had a long-standing relationship. State House correspondent Musba Damahab recalls that the president went to the Ghanaian capital for the event after his Yuletide break in Lagos. Meanwhile, John Dramani Mahama was inaugurated as the new president of Ghana in a historic transition. President Mahama takes over from Nana Akufo-Addo, whom he handed over to 8 years ago. State House correspondent Musba Damahab reports.
Here is the return of John Dramani Mahama. The president is back for his second spell in the office he left 8 years ago after a single term.
So help me God.
Apparently returning with more experience, Mahama is now hoping to reset the Black Star Nation. Acknowledging the current dynamic realities of the world, the Ghanaian president emphasized the importance of international cooperation and the support of his citizens in his quest to achieving the new Ghana they desire. President Mahama says his new administration is setting out with focus on 4 critical areas of economic restoration: improvement of the investment environment, governance and constitution reforms, as well as accountability and fight against corruption.
Together, as we look to the horizon, we reaffirm our dedication to breaking the glass ceiling that has long hindered many from reaching their full potential. Governance that reflects all segments of our population strengthens our democracy and enriches our conversation. We stand committed to enacting policies that empower women and ensure that the door of opportunity is open wide for our youth and our women, regardless of their background.
President Bola Tinubu was there to celebrate the growth of democracy in Africa. And the ECOWAS chairman wants African leaders to strive and cooperate better to lead the majority of Africans out of poverty.
With laser focus, we can tackle our people's most pressing problem of poverty, youth unemployment, instability, insurgency, and many other problems hampering our desired progress.
For other leaders present, it's welcome back to John Dramani Mahama.
What I foresee is that the relationship between the two countries will be further deepened, even under the past leader, Akufo-Addo. This was the case. I can see us breaking new grounds under Mahama, I said, because there's also a personal relationship involved. So many problems will be solved with this kind of personal relationship.
Now the Ghanaians are celebrating the return of John Dramani Mahama and significantly 32 years of democracy, hoping for a greater fortune for the country and its people. From Accra, Musbah and Wahab, 8 News.
Socio-economic development of northern Nigeria took center stage as policymakers, development experts and community stakeholders converged on Kano to chart a way forward. Awal Salisu reports that the northern leaders unveiled an ambitious 2045 development goals plan aimed at addressing the challenges facing the region.
Gathered in this hall are policymakers, development experts and stakeholders with a shared vision for the future of northern Nigeria. The discussions focus on three critical objectives, which include analyzing the region's current challenges and opportunities, proposing innovative solutions to catalyze transformational change, and outlining strategic steps to achieve the Northern Nigeria Development Goals 2045. The goals were crafted following a thorough analysis of pressing challenges in the region, including gaps in education, widespread poverty, and persistent security concerns.
19 other states should review their strategic plan and capture climate change, capture disaster response management, capture some emergency issue, capture what we call the post-subsidy removal interventions. When subsidy were removed, that's when they develop all this plan.
It's aimed at trying to provide a framework for northern Nigeria to leverage in terms of projecting the development of northern Nigeria between now 2045. That is, it's a 20-year development agenda.
Nigeria will never grow without regional partnership among the states, moving on the single agenda, uniting and linking the economic chains of the region. That's the only way northern Nigeria could grow.
The Northern Nigeria Development Goals 2045 lay out a vision for a region driven by inclusive economic growth, empowerment of youth and women, strengthened governance and security, as well as resilience to climate change. The stakeholders expressed optimism that adopting these strategic goals will serve as a roadmap for sustainable progress across the region. In Kano, Awal Salisu, NTA News.
On security, the Nigerian Air Force has reiterated its resolve to optimizing resources, strengthening its fleet and upholding national security through operational excellence. The Chief of the Air Staff, Air Marshal Hassan Abubakar, affirmed this at the 431 Engineering Group Kaduna. Defense correspondent Olajide Bello reports that an aircraft grounded for 23 years was reactivated by Nigerian Air Force engineers.
It's begun with a presidential directive, a call to action for ministries, departments and agencies to transfer their grounded assets to the Nigerian Air Force for possible reactivation. The project was given the green light in June 2024, and what followed was a feat of engineering brilliance. This was a testament to the NAV's growing technical expertise and resolve to achieve self-reliance in aviation maintenance. What had once seemed like an insurmountable challenge was now a reality. When the aircraft's engines roared to life for the first time in years, the hangar was filled with a sense of triumph. It was not just the sound of an engine starting, it was the sound of a new chapter in the Nigerian Air Force history. The successful reactivation of the NAV 039 after 23 years of dormancy was a monumental achievement, as it wasn't merely about restoring a piece of machinery, but about the culmination of years of progress, reflecting a new era for Nigeria's Air Force. Air Marshal Hassan Abubakar, the Chief of the Air Staff, was quick to recognize the significance of the accomplishment, saying the successful reactivation of NAV 039 is not just an operational gain, but a statement of the Nigerian Air Force capabilities and commitment to self-reliance. As NAV 039 took to the skies once again, It wasn't just the aircraft that had been rejuvenated. It was a national asset, a beacon of self-reliance and innovation, soaring towards a future of operational excellence and national security. The NAV's journey had only just begun. Olajide Bello, NTA News.
Meanwhile, the Nigeria Police Force is celebrating a year of remarkable achievements and operational milestones through the National Cybercrime Center. In 2024, the center made significant strides in combating cybercrimes, earning national and international accolades while reinforcing Nigeria's cybersecurity infrastructure. Francis Fom reports.
These cybercrime cases were reported in the year 2024.
One of the NPF-NCC's major operational milestones in 2024 was the launch of an upgraded cybercrime e-reporting system. This platform streamlined the reporting of cyber incidents such as extortion, cyber stalking, and cryptocurrency scams, resulting in faster response times and improved case management. The center dismantled 5,049 malicious domains and networks and arrested over 751 cybercriminals. Notable recoveries included 685 digital devices, real estate properties, and 8.8 billion naira in restituted funds, alongside securing 14 convictions.
As the unit was rated the best cybercrime unit in Africa for 2024 by Interpol Cybercrime Directorate, Singapore, for a competitive performance assessment. This accolade recognizes the relentless efforts and innovative strategies of the Inspector General of Police of the Federal Republic of Nigeria in the protection of our national critical information infrastructure.
You should try as much as we can to make sure that will stay safe online by not giving out the 6-digit number to anybody that calls you that you're going to have a good Zoom meeting.
In addition to operational success, the NPF-NCC spearheaded nationwide cybersecurity awareness campaigns and advanced training programs for its personnel. Strategic partnerships with tech companies, financial institutions, and international agencies, including Interpol, the FBI, and the EU Council on Cybercrime, bolstered intelligence sharing and cross-border operations. The NPF-NCC remains committed to fortifying Nigeria's cyberspace and protecting its citizens against evolving cyber threats. Francis Fom, NTA News.
Elsewhere, the Eastern Ports Police Command says it will adopt new crime prevention and control strategies to sustain the successes which resulted in crime reduction in 2024. Commissioner of Police, Eastern Ports Command, Jimoh Moshood, stated this while briefing journalists in Port Harcourt. Emmanuel Lene reports that some newly promoted officers of the command were also decorated with their new ranks.
Among some of the achievements made by the Eastern Ports Police Command was the arrest and prosecution of several suspects for different offenses ranging from conspiracy, stealing and diversion of trailer loads of goods worth millions of naira. Prominent among them is the conspiracy, stealing and diversion of 1,840 bags of wheat belonging to the United Nations World Food Programme from Ibeto Port Terminal to Kano State. 3 suspects were also convicted for conspiracy, vandalism, and stealing of heavy metal drainage grating property at Warri Port, among several other arrests.
The command arrested 33 suspects for various offenses. Outside the first suspect that I've mentioned, that 3 other suspects were arrested for various offenses throughout the year. All these 3 suspects have been arraigned in court, charged to court, and they are all remanded to prison custody as we speak.
To sustain these crime prevention strategies, CP Jimoh Moshood says certain action plans have been in place to sustain the recommendable feats recorded in 2024. Meanwhile, 8 officers promoted in the command have been decorated with their new ranks. They include 2 CSP, 1 SP, and 5 DSP.
All of us know that promotion is due to consistent and coordinated effort by the personnel that have been promoted. But it is also important to let them know that the IGP graciously promoted them due to their hard work, and he expected nothing less than more work, more hard work from them. To whom much is given, much is expected.
On behalf of the promoted officers within the Eastern Post Police Command, we want to appreciate the Inspector General of Police, who has considered us worthy for this promotion to the next ranks. We want to assure the Inspector General of Police of our unalloyed loyalty and commitment to duty.
The Eastern Post Command has 4 divisions. They are One, Rivers, Warri, and Calabar ports. In Port Harcourt, Emmanuel, Lene, NTA News.
This is the news at 10, reaching you live on NTA News 24. Still ahead. Prices of essential food items drop in Kebbi States. Details of this and other business stories shortly.
NTA say thank you to all our viewers. NTA say thank you. A good TV station means different things to different people. What made NTA stand out for you in 2024?
Babu shakka, babu wani gidan talabijin a ƙasar nan da ke nuna al'adu kamar yadda gidan talabijin na ƙasa wato NTA ke nunawa.
Kò sí ibikíbi tí ẹ wà ní orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà tí ẹ ò ti lè wo ilé-iṣẹ́ tẹlifíṣàn ìjọba àpapọ̀ NTA kétékété kódà tó fi di abúlé wa.
Standard NTA Bacharuru Okopa Okadigun Okoko now NTA
Strength, information, outstanding performance. NTA got the steez.
For decades, we've towered high with sponsors as partners and viewers as pillars. And as we bid 2024 farewell, we welcome you to a superlative 2025. Because at NTA, you can't beat the reach. Oh, NTA say thank you.
You're welcome back. The National Agency for Food and Drugs Administration and Control, NAFDAC, has sealed off a Chinese supermarket in Wuse 2, Abuja, for allegedly selling expired products and products labeled in Chinese language without the English translation, as enshrined in NAFDAC's regulations. The supermarkets, owned and managed by the Chinese nationals, claim that they are undergoing NAFDAC processes of getting a NAFDAC license and translating the labeling instructions into English in accordance with the regulations. The leader of the enforcement team, Shabba Mohammed, said the agency will continue with the investigation to unravel how these products got into the country in a commercial quantity, with the outright violation of Nigeria's labeling practice without being intercepted at the point of entry. Prices of essential food items are on the downward trajectory in various major grain markets in Kebbi State. Hassanna Abubakar Koko, who visited some of the markets, reports that this has brought significant relief to residents.
State, well known for its agricultural prowess, has majored in the production of rice, beans, millet, sorghum and maize, among others. This is why major food dealers come into the state to buy trucks of food at one of the lowest price you can find in the country. Places like Zamia, Bena and even Zulu host some of these major markets. But all this took a big turn in 2024, which saw these prices skyrocketing as high as 200%. But with the combined effort of government at all levels, the tables have turned with prices slashing below 100%. For example, a recent survey in Birnin Kebbi Central Market, a major hub for grains and perishable items, revealed that a bag of local rice is now 55,000 naira, previously 70,000 naira. Bags of maize and millet previously sold at 100,000 naira is now 65,000 naira each. while a bag of beans now sells at 130,000 naira against 200,000 naira before. Similarly, perishable items such as tomatoes now sells for 25 to 35,000 naira per basket, previously 70,000 naira. A bag of onions sold at 300,000 naira is now 150,000 naira. According to the chairman of the market associations, the price decrease is attributed to the harvesting of new produce, which has also led to increased supply, with a ripple effect of competition among traders.
People have planted and by the infinite mercy of God have been blessed with an abundant produce. During the Harmattan season, perishable foods are typically cheaper compared to other seasons.
It is no doubt a welcoming development for the people who now boast of increase in purchasing power.
Things have come down compared to what we used to have in the past.
We are still hoping the fall in price will be better than where we are coming from, but it's better than before, honestly.
With all indications, the prices will continue to fall for a while. Hassan Abubakar Koko, NTA News.
In the meantime, 6 billion naira is to be shared among the 13 local government areas in Nasarawa State as the federal government's agricultural support program to boost food production in rural communities. Governor Abdullahi Sule says President Bola Tinubu approved the release of the fund to encourage local government councils to go into agricultural activities in the upcoming farming season. 8THJANUARY reports.
Each of the 13 local government areas will receive 460 million naira, farm inputs and seedlings to complement the program. Part of the fund is to enable local government go into mechanized farming, thereby engaging unemployed youths in the production cycle and reduce restiveness as well as ensure food security. The state government is also supporting the federal government initiative with the recent distribution of tractors to local government areas.
I'm pleading with you. This agriculture, we are being expected as a state, to lead the way. And I think the only way we can lead the way is if you also embrace aspect of agriculture.
In 2024, Nasarawa State Government, as part of her agricultural drive, venture into rice farming with a bomber harvest at the end of the year. And presently, planting for dry season farming is in progress in the state. In Lafia, 8THJANUARY, NTA News.
Staying on agriculture, the Nigerian Army Farms and Ranches Limited has taken a significant step towards enhancing food security and boosting agricultural productivity by signing a memorandum of understanding with key partners in the agricultural sector. The initiative is aligned with President Bola Tinubu's directive to the Nigerian Armed Forces to leverage the country's vast arable lands for agricultural purposes. The agreement focuses on expanding the agricultural base by introducing modern farming techniques and ensuring that resources, infrastructure and personnel required to succeed are readily available.
The Chief of Army Staff has been supporting the farm, is determined to ensure that the farm grows. He has made so much contribution and support to the farm, and of course he has assured us of his continuous support until we meaningfully contribute our quota to the National Green Reserve.
As the saying goes, an army marches on its belly. So I hope that together we can leverage technology, the institutional goodwill of the Nigerian Army, and other players in this vital ecosystem to support first the Nigerian Army in attaining self-sufficiency.
To other news now. In the wake of Monday's bomb explosion at the Sangagya Sani Uthman Islamia School in Biazin area, Kubwa, Abuja, Commissioner of Police, FCT, CP Olatunji Disu, has visited the scene to assess the damage and reassure the people of the community of their safety at all times. Asabe Williams has details.
Commissioner of Police, FCT, Olatunji Disu, while assessing the damage, urged residents to remain calm, assuring them that the police are working tirelessly to investigate the explosion. He emphasized the importance of vigilance, advising residents to stay at alert, avoiding suspicious objects, and report any unusual behavior or items to the authorities. The commissioner's visit demonstrates the police's commitment to ensuring public safety and bringing those responsible for the incident to justice. As the investigation continues, the police will provide updates and work closely with the community to prevent similar incidents in the future. In Abuja, Asabe Williams, NTA News.
The Nigeria Centre for Disease Control and Prevention, NCDC, says the country is strengthening national vigilance amid rising global concerns over human metapneumovirus, HMPV, and implementing preparedness measures as well as response capacities to tackle the virus should it emerge. A statement signed by the NCDC Director General, Dr. Jide Idris, indicates that a dynamic risk assessment conducted for human metapneumovirus in collaboration with the Federal Ministry of Health and partners classifies the risk of HMPV for Nigeria as moderate, with reports indicating a surge in HMPV cases in countries like China. The NCDC clarifies that the World Health Organization has not declared it a public health emergency of international concern and wants Nigerians to rely on verified information from credible sources like the NCDC and the WHO. Dr. Idris also wants citizens to adopt preventive measures such as regular hand washing, respiratory hygiene, and avoidance of crowded places. HMPV is a respiratory virus that can cause illnesses ranging from mild cold-like symptoms to severe respiratory infections, particularly in young children, older adults, and individuals with weakened immune systems. You're still on to the news at 10 on NTA News 24. More reports in a moment. The People's Democratic Party has affirmed Sunday Ude Okoye, a former National Youth leader, as the party's national secretary in compliance with a Court of Appeal order. The position of the party was made public by the PDP National Publicity Secretary Debo Olugwangba at a media briefing in Abuja. Timothy Yusuf reports.
First briefing in year 2025 by the leadership of the PDP, even as the party is yet to open office from the Yuletide holiday, pointing to the importance of the matter at stake. PDP National Publicity Secretary Debo Olugwangba submitted that the party is in receipt of a Court of Appeal ruling affirming Sunday Ude Okoye as the National Secretary, and as a law-abiding party, NWC intends to carry out the decision of the court.
We will obey the order of court, we will follow the processes and ensure full compliance. to the pronouncement of the Court of Appeal, because that is the position as at today.
Ude Okoye replaces Senator Samuel Anyanwu as National Secretary. The Southeast PDP had at a meeting in Enugu in 2023 nominated the former national youth leader as a replacement for Anyanwu following the latter's nomination as the party's candidate in the 2023 Imo State governorship election. Reacting to another development, the national leadership of the People's Democratic Party has condemned the physical assault on a journalist, Mr. Ndubuisi Oji, who covers the party for the Sun newspapers. He was this Monday allegedly assaulted by one Emmanuel Okoronkwo, identified as an aide to the party's ousted National Secretary, Senator Samuel Anyanwu. The aide claimed to be acting on a directive given by Anyanwu to prevent journalists from accessing the party secretariat. The PDP national spokesperson, Debo Ologunagba, disowned Okoronkwo, saying that he acted on his own, while the matter is being investigated for further disciplinary action. Timothy Yusuf, NTA News.
Akwa Ibom State Governor Umo Eno has frowned at the rate of vandalism of critical infrastructure in the state and has directed security agencies to bring all perpetrators to book. The governor gave the charge when he received the new Commissioner of Police, Baba Mohammed Azari, during a visit to his office. Kelvin Samuel reports.
The new Commissioner of Police and his team are in the government house on a courtesy call on the governor to set the tone for his services and the state. CP Azari assures the government and people of Akwa Ibom State of his readiness to sustain the existing security and peace in the state through collaborations with sister security agencies.
I'm delighted to inform His Excellency that on assumption of office and in collaboration with other security agencies, especially the DSS, we have already commenced profiling of all sponsors of the communal clashes in the state. They are right now in close monitoring. Very shortly, we will avail you with an interim report with the details of our profiling and the identity of those sponsoring the communal uprising in the state.
The governor, while congratulating the new CP, says his knowledge of the security architecture of the state will be an added advantage in combating crimes. He assures that the state government is always ready and willing to provide the needed support that will help make the state safer.
People living together, married, they have children, grandchildren, and just to wake up all of a sudden and start killing themselves is becoming a real problem. And for me, you have handled these things, so you know. The one in Ibno, this Eket is really of concern, and they need to know that we have banned anybody from having anything to do in that stockpick. It's a forest reserve, and please, you've been through this, you were with us, so that's why for me, I'm actually particularly happy that some of these things are not new to you.
Until his appointment as the commissioner, the CP served as the Deputy Commissioner of Police Operations in the Akwa Ibom State Police Command. In Uyo, Kelvin Samuel, NTA News.
Meanwhile, Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, has vowed to ensure the vandals of the sewage manhole covers on highways in Abuja to face the full wrath of the law so as to serve as a deterrent for others. In a statement by the Senior Special Advisor to the Minister on Public Communications and New Media, Lero Lainka, the Minister also assures that government will ensure that all buyers and users of the vandalized manhole covers and other vandalized public infrastructure will be apprehended and prosecuted for economic sabotage. The statement adds that the arrest of no fewer than 50 suspects for vandalism and theft of manhole covers within the FCT and recovering of 25 vandalized manhole covers was a demonstration of the FCTA's zero tolerance for criminality, particularly vandalism of public amenities. He commended the security agencies for their prompt and decisive actions and also commended Nigerians for showing patriotism in speaking against the ugly trend. The minister wants Nigerians, especially residents, to continue to use the social media positively, as was done on the removal of the manhole covers, assuring that the government will always act promptly. Nigeria's correctional system is set to receive a boost, with the Acting Controller General of Corrections pledging to provide the best facilities for inmates. This commitment came during an inspection visit to Kuje and Suleja medium security custodial centers. Shehu Mohammed Datti reports.
The Acting Controller General of Corrections recently visited the Kuje and Suleja custodial center to assess their total renovation. The two centers have been equipped with state-of-the-art gadgets to enhance security and efficiency. At the Kuje Custodial Center, renovations went beyond infrastructure, with the center now boasting 24-hour CCTV camera surveillance to prevent security breaches. Addressing officers and men of the Custodial Center, the Acting Comptroller General emphasized the importance of discipline, dedication to duty, and loyalty.
It's so humanely built, and the medical facility there is top-notch. Almost all facets, the educational sector where we collaborate effectively with National Open University is also a very high scale.
Notably, an inmate at the Kuje Custodial Center, Chiando Hats, has achieved remarkable success despite being incarcerated. Hats has earned a master's degree and written 5 books demonstrating the potential for rehabilitation and personal growth within the correctional system. The Suleja Custodial Center, which was affected by flooding last year, is currently undergoing renovation ahead of its relocation to a new building.
We've been able to recapture some, but not all. You know how it is. We still don't have feedback from the society and the communities where these inmates belong to. But our efforts are ongoing to make sure that every inmate that is escaped is recaptured back.
This official tour marks the Acting Controller General's first visit to the custodial centers since his appointment by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu in December last year. In Abuja, Shehu Mohammed Datti, NTA News.
Well, behind the unyielding walls of Nigeria's custodial centers, where many see only finality, a different story unfolds. One where chains are recast into threads and abandoned dreams take flight. Victor Azu in this report takes us beyond the bars into stories of resilience, transformation, and the remarkable strength of second chances.
Behind these cold steel walls, time stands still. But inside, some find new horizons, building, dreaming, and reshaping their destinies.
Chinwendu Hart, at 34, has spent 12 years at the Kuje Custodial Center on trial for homicide. My gravest mistake, he concedes. In this silenced world, he earned a bachelor's, a master's, and wrote 5 books. Each page, each chapter, a whispered plea for redemption.
National University was introduced to the center, and it was scholarship. So I took that opportunity and I enrolled. I've done my first degree. I have BA in Christian theology, and I've also concluded my master's degree. Right now, I can build a website from the scratch. I learned website development.
Now, calls for his pardon grew into a chorus. Like Chinwendu, Christian Picado's hope faded when those gates closed. Yet, in thread and needle, he stitched a future anew. Tailoring taught him not just to mend fabric, but to weave brighter tomorrows.
I studied entrepreneurship and business management. So from there, I was unable to finish it. My case finished before my graduation. So coming out I was given opportunity to be going there until I studied and finished. Now I have my BSc. This work I am doing here is there that I have learned it. I'm also an artist.
His skills earned him freedom and degrees. Now, his tailor shop in Lugbe sews resilience into the fabric of his family life. A vibrant thread in a tangled world. Ehimel Sahon found light in learning. 5 daunting years for distributing cannabis could eclipse any hope, but he refused to succumb. Through the inmates' education program, he earned a master's and embarked on a PhD journey, tuition-free, even after his release.
Immediately I left the 4 walls of the correction. An NGO picked me up, gave me accommodation, and gave me a job. But barely a year and 6 months, we could not continue, so I was asked to go. Though the NGO still accommodated me till early this year.
But without a job, his dreams are at risk of unraveling. His wife, once his anchor, has left with the kids, broken by his continued struggles. He now grapples with a new kind of loneliness. In a country where more than 70% of inmates are confined for non-violent offenses, the real measure of our humanity is in how we welcome them back.
They have paid their dues. Now they need an opportunity to show us who they have become.
Christian and Ahime tasted freedom within these confines long before they physically left. Now, it's upon us to look beyond their past and see the future they have fought for. In Abuja, Victor Azo, NTA News.
More on security, realistic training, adequate troop sustenance and equipment procurement have been identified as key for combat readiness of the Nigerian Army to achieve operational success. The Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Olufemi Oluyede, was speaking at the Training and Doctrine Command 2025 conference preparatory to the duties of defending the territorial integrity of the nation. Fatima Usman reports that the conference had as its theme understanding Nigerian Army doctrine for effective training within a joint environment.
The 2025 conference of the Training and Doctrine Command, Nigerian Army sets the standard for training activities in all Nigerian Army training schools and centers across the country to guide them on their statutory responsibility. This year's conference is designed to use the developed Nigerian Army Training Manual on chemical, biological, radiological and nuclear warfare response effectively to the multifaceted and sometimes mutating security challenges the Nigerian Army is tasked to mitigate. The engagement is expected to thoroughly assess Nigeria's current security and defense environment, evaluate training curriculum, and propose ideas.
Our troops are in the field, and we're even inducting more troops to ensure that we drive them away from our land. So I can assure you that we're doing our best to ensure that the adversary will take them out of Nigeria.
The first step to achieving the desired effectiveness within the joint or multinational environment is to have well-trained and mission-capable troops. This responsibility falls squarely on our training schools and centers in order to be effective during operations.
The Chief of Army Staff, who unveiled the training manual, also addressed the soldiers and assured them of adequate welfare to enable them carry out the mandate of defending the nation's territorial integrity. I'm Fatima Usman, NTA News.
Ogoja local government's central market, Ishibori, has been gutted by fire. This is coming less than 2 days after the state high courts located in the area also erupted in flames. We'll bring you more details of this in our subsequent bulletins. Now, professionalism is one of the core values of the media practice expected of journalists in the discharge of their duties of factual information dissemination to the public for socio-economic development. Although this has been ongoing in Nigeria, the Bayelsa State Council of the Nigerian Union of Journalists is moving to strengthen this journalistic mandate. Yankume Ulolo reports that to achieve this, a 15-member Media Summit Steering Committee has been inaugurated in Yenagoa.
The Nigeria Union of Journalists (NUJ) Bayelsa State Council, like in other states of the Federation, is basically concerned with not just promoting professionalism but also interested in the welfare of journalists. This is why the new executive officers of the union is strategizing to improve the workings of practitioners in Bayelsa State. The inauguration of the 15-member Media Summit Steering Committee is therefore in line with the new Executive Council electioneering promise to take the union to greater heights.
We said our administration is an administration that will birth a new paradigm. Today, pursuant to that new paradigm drive, is the inauguration of the steering committee for the Bayelsa State Media Summit, first of its kind in the history of NUJ across the country.
Comrade Taranyon Akuno, chairman of the steering committee, who is the former chairman of council, promised the committee readiness to deliver on its mandate.
Are going to deliver as promised a summit that will galvanize all the media practitioners in the state and then sell the Bayelsa brand to the world.
I think it's a very good initiative from the State Council of NUJ Bayelsa that we should gather together as media practitioners, as journalists, to see how united that we can be strong together to project the brand of Bayelsa.
I believe this is a step in the right direction, one that will change the story of Bayelsa. And
I think it's going to give us an opportunity to brainstorm, hear from resource persons that will be drawn up by the committee to chart a new course, a new lease of life for the council, and also to brand the state positively.
The committee primary mandate is to plan the modalities and date for a beneficial and successful media summit. In Yenegwa, Dianukume Ulolo, NTA News.
The Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, NNPCL, has been urged to prioritize crude oil supply to local refineries, including the Dangote refinery, over foreign partners. At a media briefing in Abuja, the concerned Nigeria groups expressed concern over reports that the NNPCL plans to cut down on crude oil supply to the Dangote refinery from 300,000 barrels per day. The group is also concerned over claims that the Warri and Port Harcourt refineries are operational and producing at 60 to 70% capacity. They argued that the Dangote refinery has been making efforts to make petroleum products affordable and Nigerians, and that reducing its crude oil supply would undermine this effort.
The Dangote refinery are expected to produce 650,000 barrels per day, and since it can be exported, it will boost Nigeria's foreign reserves. Nigeria will stop importing diesel, petroleum products, fertilizer and petrochemicals. This is saving over $26 billion in foreign exchange. When we export crude to Europe and import fuel, we export jobs and put pressure on our scarce foreign exchange. The refinery saved us from that and created thousands of direct and indirect jobs. The value of the naira is bouncing back with the commencement of Dangote refinery that will soon export petroleum products and other items.
Meanwhile, President Bola Tinubu congratulates Mele Kulu Kyari, the Group Chief Executive Officer of the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, on his 60th birthday, January the 8th, today. The President commends Kyari's diligence in transforming the NNPCL into a profitable organization. Tinubu recalls that despite cynicism in some quarters, the NNPCL under Kyari's leadership has recorded notable achievements, including the resuscitation of 2 refineries, an increase in domestic natural gas consumption, and a boost in oil production to 1.8 million barrels per day. In a statement by the Special Advisor to the President on Information and Strategy, Bayo Onanuga, the President applauded Kyari's dedication to service and the professionalism he has maintained throughout his distinguished career at the NNPC, OPEC, and as the first Group Chief Executive Officer of NNPCL. He praised to Almighty Allah to continue to grant Kyari sound health, wisdom, and strength to serve the nation while mentoring the next generation of energy sector leaders. Let's now take a quick look at our top stories. President Tinubu back in Nigeria after inauguration of John Dramani Mahama as 14th President of Ghana. Nigerian Air Force revives aircraft after 23 years of being grounded. Nigeria Center for Disease Control issues alert on human metapneumovirus, reaffirms national preparedness. And NAFDAC has sealed off a Chinese supermarket in Abuja for allegedly selling expired products. And just ahead, NFF appoints Cedric Shelley as Super Eagles coach.
This is NTA News 24.
The Nigeria Football Federation Executive Committee has approved the appointment of Eric Seku Shelley as the new head coach of Nigeria's senior men's national football team, the Super Eagles. The decision followed the recommendation of the NFF's Technical and Development Subcommittee during its meeting held in Abuja on January 2nd. The appointment was formally endorsed by the NFF Executive Committee on Tuesday, January 7th. Shelley, 47, is a former head coach of Mali's senior national team. And joining us to speak on the appointment of the new Super Eagles coach is our sports correspondent, Daniel Adiriye. Hello, Daniel.
Hi, Dennis. Good morning.
What can you tell us about this new coach?
Eric Shelley, you already said, 47-year-old former Malian team national coach. Let me just say this. I know us is a country who's grappling with a lot at the moment, and we need to put things into context because the reviews, banters, especially on social media, have not been really good. In the last 7 hours, there's a lot of bashing. If you go to the NFF website, you go to their Twitter handle, Nigerians have been literally just, pouring venom. However, we need to put things in context. The glass house does not have $100,000 plus to pay a grade A coach from Europe or any other part of the world, South America, etc., etc. And all for very good reason, because we are preparing for AFCON this year. Then we also have the CHAN Championships and several other, grade championships and tournaments that we need money to prepare for, right? So do we have money to pay another grade A coach $120,000, $30,000 maybe? No. So is it laughable? Maybe. Is it understandable? Yes, laughable in the sense that Mali does not even rank in the top 50 of, playing, and I'm not saying this to disrespect the Malian nation. They're great people, they're good, but they don't level up when it comes to the elite teams as far as football is concerned in Africa, right? In the last 2 decades, Mali has never made it into the top 50 in the world. Nigeria has been in the top 50 for as long as we can remember. Still the only African nation to make it to the top 5 in the world. So some people are saying it's a dip from Pesero to this. You could have gone to Ghana, you could have gone to South Africa. I would take a South African PSL coach. Bring me Orlando Pirates, bring me Chippa United, bring me Mamelodi Sundowns. I'll take it, right? Because South Africa is that good. They have depth, they have squad. We've seen the tacticality of, the South Africans. In fact, the South Africans are still the only nation who have gone toe-to-toe with the North Africans. Zamalek, Etoile de Sahel of Esperance, and several other North African teams who have colonized the CAF Confederations Cup, talking about the continental trophies, Champions League and the Confederations Cup. So you give me a South African coach, I'll take it, because these guys have their eternal rivals. Ghana is our rival, South Africa is our rival. Ghana Jollof versus Nigerian Jollof, I'm a piano versus Afrobeat. We've been at each other's throats forever. So yes, I'll take it. It's more like a case of living with a familiar devil. This guy is an angel who we don't know. Up until today, he started his coaching career in French Ligue 2, that's French League 2, Division 2 in France. Started with Consolat, 2016-2017, fired. Crossed over to Martigues, spent another 1 year thereabout, fired. Then crossed over to US Boulogne, where he spent the longer time of his career, 2017-2021, and then got called up by the Malian national team in 2021. And from 2021, if I'm not mistaken, 2022 rather, to 2024, that's last year, coached the Malian national team and got fired. So he spent more time fired than actually coaching. And this is the question mark.
So what impact is that going to have on the national team?
Exactly what I'm saying. So why bring in a coach who has spent more time fired than actually coaching? He's got, as far as credibility, in terms of, popularity. In fact, some people are saying maybe they should have just given Eguavon and the boys time. Ogumodede is assisting, Fidele Chuku is assisting. For the first time in 6 years, Ogumodede and his guys were able to qualify us for the Chan Nations Championship, which we've missed out for the first time in 6 years, and we qualified. Give Eguavon time. He's not the best, but he's proven himself. He's an ex-international who has won several laurels, and he's known. We don't know this guy. We're taking a risk. Is it a good risk? Maybe not. But there are certain risks and there are certain risks.
Definitely.
This for me is a dip. And I'm not here to say it's bad, but the best we can do for NFF and the Super Eagles is let's just rally behind them and give them all the support they need. But it's going to be a tall order. It's going to be a very tall order.
Time will tell. We'll see how he performs for the national team. All right, Daniel, many thanks for that.
Thank you.
All right, that does conclude the news at 10 on NTA News 24. Thank you for watching. I am Dennis Adigunlu.